Hey everyone, another video for a weekly update. We'll be going over the same, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins. I've chosen a few to go over in deep detail. So again, this video is going to be long, but I wanted to start the video by saying I've been partnered with BingX recently, and it's a long time coming. I was with MEXC before, and although I still am trading with them, I was having troubles with my stop losses not getting triggered, waking up to my stop loss just being well under, or price being well under my stop loss, even though I had it set. Instead of taking a couple $100 losses, I was down in thousands. Anyways, I've partnered with BingX, and they're having a promotion going on that I got you guys. If you sign up with my link, deposit $50, you get $50 in a bonus voucher. And if you trade $3,000 in volume, you get another $100. So it's first come, first served to the first 50 people. There's like 20 left, so please feel free to grab one. You don't have to trade. I don't really care if you use my link or not, but all the support would mean a lot. I still am trading with MEXC, but both links are in the description below. So let's get started. By the way, I will be having giveaways with them and competitions, and again, all you have to do is trade with my link to be entered in those competitions and giveaways. So now that we got that out of the way, let's take a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and these other coins. Again, the weekend, no volume really in Bitcoin. Those that are trading Bitcoin are just stuck. But I do want to go over a concept that I taught you guys last time we did this, and in the Discords, and that's the swing failure, okay? So I mentioned, once we have a swing failure, and what is a swing failure briefly? Again, this was swing low, right? You had this candle come, take out the liquidity, right? Close above. That was your trigger to long, okay? Now, with swing failures, if you don't get the trigger, let's say you're late, right? Like for example, we go on the 4-hour. Right, so this was the swing failure of these swing lows here, right? This one was here, and this one was here. So what happens on a swing failure if you don't get your trigger? If you just place a limit order at the previous swing low levels, which is here, right? It's already established as support. Once this liquidity sweeps and closes above, this is established as support because the candle still closed above. So if you place an order at previous swing lows, like 80% of the time it's going to fill and you're going to be in profit. So if you had done so, and again, these are going to be limit orders. If you had done so, I don't know if that was before, but let's just say here, right? Like a 1% move on a dry weekend is great for Bitcoin, right? But like, who's trading Bitcoin right now? But anyways, back to the state of the market. We'll go over a few Bitcoin charts, but I was expecting this to fill. It did not. I missed by $80, so I'm not going to be playing this setup anymore. I am looking for a sweep of these lows, hopefully into this trend line here and higher. But I want to show you this chart here. And we've already gone over this, and I've showed you the fractal playing out on this. Okay. Right, so we had the deviation here down below, came back, rejected, deviation came down below, rejected again. So we've held this point that I've been talking about in the Discord and on multiple videos, right? This 28.6 down to 28.4 level is very crucial. We had a nice bounce from it back to the area of rejection. Now, I am honestly looking for a deeper move down into this gray zone here around 27.7 down to 27.4, which is also the bottom of this rising wedge trend line, right? We've been bouncing from it. So I expect bids here. So honestly, I'm going to front run. So I want to start bids from 27.7. And these are going to be swing trades, okay? So 27.7 down to about 27K, maybe 26.8, with a stop loss around 26, right? and I want to play this up to the top of this rising wedge, right? So that would be max resistance, and this is where I've detailed in my previous video. This is as high as I think we go, to about 35k, and then just back down to this 25k level here. If we do break this level, we have broken market structure and we're going much lower. But this is what I want to play. It's going to take some time. I'm not a scalper, I'm a swing trader, so I can give, you know, multiple setups, and it could take days to weeks to fill. That's what I'm waiting for. For me to get long on Bitcoin, I need this level reclaimed. Let me see. Do I have it? No. I need this level reclaimed. Okay, so I need 30.3 reclaimed for me to cleanly long to about 32k, right? Until that happens, or at least 29.5 for me to long to 30.4. Until that happens, I'm not looking to get long on anything unless it's lower. See how we broke down here before? Turn this to resistance, right? I'm gonna make this red now because this is resistance. I need a 4-hour close above, right? And then a retest of this level to hold, and then we would long to here, which I have given 2 shorts in the Discord, right? I'm not going to give them here, but that's where I'm looking to short 30.4, DCA around 30.8, and then I have 2 separate short setups here, swing and a scalp, and I would long to about, or short to about 25, 23k. Now, as long as we're holding here under range lows, I'm not looking to short. I'm either looking to short higher or long lower. You never short range lows or under a deviation point, because we can easily just have a giant candle that goes up. All right. So those that are impatient and you're just looking for a trade, if you want to lose money, go ahead. But it's best to wait for triggers. Okay. So for me, I'm looking for a move up to 30.4. And 30.6, that's where I will start to scale into a short. Invalidation point is acceptance above this 31k level. Okay, and then I have another swing trade where I'm looking to short 30.7 and DCA around 30.1. And again, hard stop would be around 32k, but acceptance above 31 is where I'm looking to manually close it. 2 separate trades, taken on 2 separate accounts. So that's what I'm currently looking at. Now, if we take a look at Bitcoin on a 4-hour, it's possibly breaking out. Again, we have this supply zone here, this order block, this 4-hour order block. So again, I'm not looking to short anything, but a short scalp if you wanted to take it. We briefly got to it. My lines were terribly drawn as it was a phone chart. But we did reject from it and dump a little bit. So again, this 4-hour order block is still holding. And a short setup would look something like that. Very, very tight. And look for breakdown. However, again, I mentioned I'm not looking to short down in this range low here, possible deviation point. Okay, I will short higher. So that's Bitcoin. Again, nothing has changed from previous video. Again, looking to long if 30.4, or sorry, 29.5 is reclaimed. I'm looking to long to 30.4k, as I mentioned. Again, nothing's changed. You can watch previous video. I go over in detail. ETH, a little bit different. So again, the swing failure concept, previous swing lows. Right, we had a swing failure, triggered a long, went high, again came back. If you had bid previous swing lows, you would have caught that long again. Support is established, and again, support is established. So 1810 is support. Now, that is 4-hour support, but we are actually hanging on this support here, 1830-ish. Okay, we've had 1, 2, 3, many touches of support here. I expect this to break down, but in the event that Bitcoin does go up to 30.6, I'm hoping that ETH can go up to about 920 where I can short it. But reading crypto Twitter and stuff like that with the ETF narrative and everything. I'm keeping my eye out. ETH has been holding pretty strong, but I still am going to take my setups. If my setups are there to present themselves, I'm going to take it. If I get stopped, so be it. But I'm looking for 1774, 1775. Okay, so I'm expecting this 1830 support get taken out, and I mentioned this previously. I'm looking for dip into here and long back up to about $2,000. Okay, so I've already given this setup in the discords, but that's what I'm looking at. Short scalp around 1924 with stop around 1950, and then the swing scalp is that setup there. Right, so that's what I'm looking at for ETH. Again, nothing has changed. ETH hasn't really moved in days, but expect a big move coming soon in the crypto markets. Why? This is why. So this is the Bitcoin Volatility Index, and we are at lows. This is the lowest it's been since January of 23. Actually, just a little bit lower earlier in the month, last month. But we're lows, so expect a big move coming in the market. By big move, I mean big volatility. I don't know which way it's going to happen. We are at support on both ends, right? So ETH is at support, Bitcoin's under range lows, possible deviation. So it could be a quick wick down, quick wick up, or up then down. I don't really know. You can never tell which way we're going. However, a big move is coming. It's taking longer than expected. Expect it within either this week or early next. And I have my level set. This is why I'm not a scalper. I'm playing high time frame levels, short higher, long lower, and we'll take it from there. But every time we get to this level, we have these giant wicks up. That tells you volatility is about to come, and we're getting to extremely low levels, so expect volatility to happen very shortly. So if you are in leverage positions, please be careful and don't over leverage or over position. Next coin I'm going to go over is Sol. So I mentioned in the last video we were getting close to the apex of the triangle, and we did break down. Okay, losing 22.7 on the daily would have been bad, and we did lose it, and then we reclaimed it. Right. My bids didn't get filled, but I'm still leaving my bids around 21.8. I'm hoping they get filled. That is a 4-hour demand zone. Now, we have broken out. Okay, we have broken out, and we did retest. However, again, I'm not longing anything on the weekends. Weekend trading is very low volume, but I am setting my bids for shorting higher. And my short higher, I mentioned before, is going to be this supply zone here, 25.4, and playing it all the way down. Okay, we still have not lost trend. We are making higher highs and higher lows. But if we do go up here and reject, then we have made a lower high, and then we make a lower low. We break trend from there. So that's why I'm taking this trade. Supply zone, resistance confluence, horizontal resistance, right? We also have not only a supply zone there, but we have an order block here. So I'm looking for something like this, and then let's draw that again. Something like this, up, come back down, break trend, early entry there, lower position size. You could DCA at 26.25-ish, but I would like to add more to my position once we break the trend line, retest it. I will add right there once we reject, and I will trade this all the way down. Okay, so once Sol runs, it could run. That's why I want to go entry light, as I always do. Slight DCA around 26.25. Should bring average to around 26-ish if you have lower entry and higher DCA in terms of margin. And then we just write it down, hopefully. That's what I'm doing. Again, 25.4 is a very strong level of resistance that we have not flipped. Resistance, resistance, resistance. We briefly turned into support right there, but again, we broke down, turned into resistance there. So that's why I'm taking this trade. Now on a lower time frame, for all you impatient scalpers, let's go to a different chart. Let's see what chart this is. Alright, let's clean this. Let's go to the hour. Alright. So, no longs until we reclaim this 23.42 level. Why? See how it was probably resistance at some point, right? Rejection, rejection, rejection. Broke down. We did a deviation. We reclaimed it right there. It went high, turned into support, right? And then we broke down here. Rejected, rejected, rejected. So for us to long, you need this level reclaimed, just like we did here. Then you could possibly long to around 24. Let's make that cleaner. 24, 25, and then my area there. Okay. Also a very important level to flip, because if that happens, not only do you have a deviation, you possibly have an inverse head and shoulders, right? Because you have left shoulder, there's your head, and then if we reject there, maybe we come back down and there's your right shoulder. And this gives you a target of 24.7-ish. Okay. So no longs until that's flipped. However, if you want to possibly scalp long, this has been holding a support. 24.5 or 22.45 or 22.5. So you have an order block here, right? You have support, low time frame support that's been holding, previous resistance. We turn into support. You long support until broken. This will be a riskier trade because we've already touched support so many times and it's a 1 hour. Anything on lower time frame is going to be risky. So you can have your stops below previous wick. And profits, because this is a 1 hour, your profits are going to be 22.86, 23.1, and then probably here. Okay, so it's a 2-hour trade. Not great, also not bad. If you want a tighter stop, sure, makes it 3.5. So you can have very tight stop loss, because in essence, if we lose this 22.45 or 22.5 level, right, and turn it into resistance, we're going much lower. And that's why I wanted to play that 21.75 level that I gave here, because that's the trend line confluence. Oops. That's the trend line confluence, also the demand zone that I was talking about, and then we could play it up, right? I'm hoping for a quick wick here, hold it, and then go higher. But for lower time frames, that would be your setup. You're going to have a very tight stop loss and hope for that bounce, right? On top of that, right? Like on lower time frame, we're basically on this trend line. So if we do break down, that would be the next point to possibly long, and yeah. So just wait patiently for your setups. Don't rush into anything. You have a 1 hour trend line here as well that could be possibly get broken. Little rising wedge. So if we break down from this trend line, turn it into resistance, your short setup would be as such, with stops above the wick, maybe a tighter stop. And you'd play that back down into this area. So 2.6R trade there into a hedge long. You could take some profits, hedge long, and go on from there. So that's Sol on a higher time frame and lower time frame, and the potential setups for both of them. Let's take a look at OP. Okay. OP's holding very strong. They have a token unlock coming as well. But I'm looking, and I went over this before, so I'm gonna clear all these out. And I want to show you guys where I think this rejects. So this is your SR level. Okay, it's actually been flipped to support. Previous resistance, right? Resistance, flipped to support, lost it, lost it, lost it, rejected. I mentioned here we have the cup and handle, right? So this is your supply zone. If we go here, that's a definite short for me. Okay. I am also looking to possibly short this area here. One sec. All right. So this area here. Previous resistance, flipped it to support, right? We lost it, turned it into resistance. Let's draw this back up. Let's have another trend line there. Okay. And you can draw your trend line from here if you want as well. Doesn't matter. Okay. So the trigger to short OP is going to be one of two things. Okay. I am looking for a move up here, right? Take out all of this liquidity, close the daily below, and I will market short with my stops probably around 1.97, but I will manually close if we can hold 1.88 and above. Okay? If we hold above, I'm closing my short and looking to short higher on this $2.08 area. All right? This has been holding very strong. I'm impressed, but you know, everything comes down eventually. And that's my trigger too long. Now, this is a confirmation play, swing failure, take out liquidity, close below. Okay. Otherwise, you are looking to short if this breaks the trend, turns this 1.66 level that I was talking about earlier, which is a support level, into resistance, and you will short with your stops probably around 1.72. And just play it lower. Right, you'll take profits at levels of support eventually. So again, this is not your final TP. You'll take profits at support. So those are the two triggers. In terms of longs, Let's move this over. So short one, short one, short two. This is a limit order, okay? I've given this before in the previous video, but this is the limit. Stops above here and lower, right? This is a confirmation play. Take out liquidity, close below. That's your trigger. Stops above the wick. Same with here. Break down, reject, turn into resistance. Shorts with stops above 1.736. Okay. Now in terms of longs, we have a 4-hour order block here. And you just short long there. Now, we're making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Where is going to be the new low? If we break market structure, which we do here. So this, if we break market structure, okay, you're looking at one or two things. So I would like to take that long, but if we break down below, okay, you're looking for a rejection off here. You'll long, and then we go much lower. If we come down here, right, and we will be making a lower low, right, because higher high, you want to make a higher low here and go higher up. But if we come back down here, right, and this is going to be close to a possible double bottom, which would be also the, this is a little bit messy, one sec. So come down here, right, now you have your left shoulder, there's your head, you're looking for a bounce up, this is a lower low, you're looking for that lower high, again, this would be the perfect area to short, that previous support level turn into resistance, and then we go much lower, okay, so you want to long this order block into a lower high, short the lower high into a new lower low, break this trend line. Now you have a target of around 1.49, which is this demand zone here. So a lot of things going on with OP, lots of potential setups. Again, I'm a high time frame trader, so I'm waiting for all these setups to happen, and I'm not jumping into shorting just because something is going up and doesn't seem to come back down. If you have that mentality, your account has been probably liquidated like 5 times already just this week. So that's OP. Let's take a look at Doge. All right. So everyone's got that Dogecoin mania. All right. So, one simple word, trend line. Okay, this is your support. It's been holding ever since. Everyone's waiting for that Elon Musk tweet. Could happen. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but very, very important level. Why do I say that? Resistance, deviation, down. Okay? Excuse me. Deviation down. Broke up, reclaimed support, and went higher, right? Deviation, up. Opposite of this. Deviation, up. Opposite of this, right? Broke down, turned to resistance, dumped. Look, deviation. So, we had a 25% move down on the last deviation. Okay, this was also a trend line. We broke down, retested the trend line, then dumped. Okay, trend line, break down. You're looking for a retest here and then dump. Now, shorting Doge should be taken with a very cautionable position size, because Elon can just tweet a picture of a dog. He can tweet anything about Dogecoin and this goes up. So if you are shorting this coin and SHIB, please short with a lower position size than any other coin that you're trading on. Okay. Same with longs. Like, he can say something and then it's fucked. So if you're playing with this coin, you want to go in with a reasonable position size, because this coin is literally affected by one man. But anyways, TA wise, it's at a very strong area, and this is a very strong resistance line that we haven't really flipped to support yet. So again, deviation, we're going back down, and I'm looking at these levels first. 7 cents, maybe a little bit higher. 66.6 cents and 6 cents. Okay, so that's Doge. Let's take a look at BCH. Okay, so this coin is not worth $222. This coin belongs at like $5. Now, if we take a look at BCH, and I'm short from 257, given this in the previous videos that I made. Now, I am looking to short this for our 200 EMA. Okay, why? Look, the black one. Okay, ever since we've hit the 200 EMA, we've rejected from it. Okay, we went above, bounced from it, and then we lost it. Okay, so a good short, if we get the opportunity, will be from the 200 EMA. Okay, you can play with this. It's the 10, 20. 20 EMA has been rejecting as well, but I'm, again, high time frame trader. The 200 EMA is very strong. If we do get to the 200 EMA, that's probably looking to short, and this should be around previous resistance. We flipped into support, held support, lost it. So 233, if this comes back down, 233, if we get it on BCH, is going to be a short. Probably DCA. Now this is going to be a very tight stop because it's a very volatile coin. DCA around 239. So the setup will look something like this. But because this is a very volatile coin and wide stop, you want to go in light entry and have a heavier DCA position. But this would be my setup. 233.5-ish. Depending on where the 4-hour 200 EMA comes in. Right, if it comes back lower, we're going to have to lower the entry. But for now, this is where I'm looking to short. So 233.4, DCA 239, stops around 245-ish. And we're honestly going to write this down to 182. So it's a 4.5 hour trade. It's a very high swing trade, so you'll have to be patient for it. But that's what I'm looking at. Now, if we were to use EMAs on this, or sorry, not EMAs, but fibs. Two 245 has been a strong resistance. Right, it's hard. I mean, I don't use fibs because when you have data, you don't really need to use fibs. I just use my support lines and resistance lines. But I don't think we get 245. That's where my stop is. But I think that the 4 our 200 EMA does its job, and we haven't really retested it yet. So I expect the retest of it to be a rejection. I will manually close my trade if we reclaim this 200 EMA. Okay. Next, injective. Let's turn these EMAs off. So for injective, and I've given this previously as well, I'm looking to short 8.6. We have a supply zone, which would also send it into the right shoulder of the head and shoulders. Okay, that's one limit order that I'm placing. Right. My second possible, this may want to break out. My second confirmation to short this is if we lose the 7.8 support level, we've held a support, right? So look, we lost it, turn it into resistance. If you had shorted, right, this resistance level, once we lost it, whoa, you got a nice 3% move down. Okay, I'm looking for the same thing to happen. Now, better on a daily, because see, on a daily, we didn't lose that level, and we got into a demand zone perfectly. But 4 hour, you could scalp it. If we lose it, you scalp it into this demand zone again. However, lose it on the daily and turn it into resistance, you are looking at, honestly, an 8% move down to the trend line at least, which is also this untested demand zone on the daily. So, no short triggers yet for this coin. I know it's holding well, but that's what we're looking to do. We either short higher up here at this 4 hour supply zone, or we short down the breakdown. Honestly, I'm not looking for longs on this one because it's at a very tricky point. I don't want a long support for the 9th time, and I'm not going to short here because it's literally at support. So I'm waiting for higher. But if we do even do this, and I mentioned this in the last video, but you have resistance, right? So if we do break out, take out this liquidity, close below, okay, I will mark it short with my stops above the wick created and just write this back down to at least support. And I mentioned this previously, so 8.31 is the area that I'm looking for. So take out the liquidity, swing failure, these highs, close below 8.31, mark it short with your stops above the wick created. Want to give your, if the wick is around 8.34, right, you don't want to have like a 0.2% stop loss, so give yourself some wiggle room, and honestly, this is a great place to put your above these wicks here, and then back down to support. So it's a 3.7 hour trade. Again, this is a confirmation trade. You want to see these highs taken out, these local highs, close below, and then you mark it short. Otherwise, we set limits here, or you're waiting for a confirmation on the daily to close the short here. Litecoin. When Litecoin was at $93, I told you it was the top. Okay. I even gave you the last video trade idea. I said if we break down, you could enter a market short, and look what happened. We got an 11% move on it. Okay, so now I am looking for we have this supply zone here. Which is also a very important level, right? Support, again, held it. We broke down, but we never retested it. So I'm looking to short LTC and give myself some wiggle room here. If we get that move on Bitcoin, we should get this. Let's add some more confluence. So if we take a look at this, right? Retest went up, right? We broke down. Here's the retest point. We should go back up here. And this DCA level at 87.4 is your DCA level. Fill and then dump. So I'm looking to short 85.55 with a DCA at 87.23 and then just dump from there, which should give us about a 2.5 hour trade. Honestly, I'm looking to run these lows here. So 4.5 hour trade, again, swing trades is how I go, so this could take some time to play out. And those are the coins that I'm currently looking at. So I hope this video helps show you how I enter trades and my thought processes. And this is how I play them, just small little lines and zones. And yeah, let's see, Sol. Yep, so you retested and then bounced. Alright, so again, I'm looking for low time frame. I think I gave this to y'all. For 23.42 gets flipped to support, and then you long. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Please like and subscribe. It helps out a lot. If you do use my referral links, thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.